Righty ho, here we go. It is live at 5, basically on the dot. It is 3 hours and 15 minutes before the kickoff to the Merseyside derby. The first one that we'll have been able to go to at Goodison Park for 2.5 years. That 2.5 years is too short for me, if you ask me. I'd double that.
Absolutely.
Definitely double that.
Absolutely.
I've been waiting. I've been like waiting. Yeah,
it's weird, isn't it?
Rain to just like become biblical. Be like, no, sorry lads.
Yeah.
The rain's called it off. We'll come back later on.
When was it? It was 1996 was it? When at Anfield, and it rained madly, didn't it? And the game was called off. Yeah. No. Sadly, it's not happened.
Well,
it's not happened.
Think about it like this way.
But
think
game
about
of
it
footy.
Like this way. In 2 days, you'll have a free weekend of no football. Think about it like that. Tonight is just a step closer to a weekend without football. And I'm just taking the positives. I'm just taking the positives.
You've got to. You've got to. You've got to. Listen, Charlie, just before we start, Charlie Greenway said there tonight at Goodison, we asked both sets of supporters to applaud on 12 minutes in memory of 12-year-old Ava White, who lost her life in the city last week. Absolutely. Clubs have put it out as well, haven't they? But that's what is happening. If anyone is wondering, after 12 minutes why there's applause, that's what it'll be.
Yeah, and there's a banner as well.
Everyone get behind that.
Go across both.
Yeah.
The away end and the paddock as well. So it is a big banner, which is really good, really good. But it's what if anything ever comes out of Merseyside derbies, that's like the positive that messages always get across, whether it be about like Hillsborough or what, like this tonight where fans.
It's knife crime in this case, isn't it? It's knife crime in this case.
So. This is tonight to me. I know I never did the preview. It was you and Mike, but tonight it just feels so weird because it doesn't feel like us versus them. It feels like us versus us, and I don't mean that in a horrible way. What I mean is there's just so many factors tonight, which are competing with against the true thing, which is a game of football against Liverpool, and it doesn't feel like we've spoken to Paul Machin from the Redmen, and you've been on the Redmen, and I've been, we've been in the offices all week, and we've got now got like an office dog which is driving us upstairs because that's the only joy we've got in our lives. And upstairs in our offices are where.
Let me stop you 1 sec. Turn your mic up a little bit. Lots of people saying your mic's a little bit low.
Is it?
Yeah, apparently there's lots of comments saying the mic's a bit low. So
don't know about that. Okay. Okay, but what I was going to say is we've got a office dog, and it's upstairs, and that's where like the Red Men live because they've got 87 staff, and there's like just me and Baz. So like in the old days we'd run away from going upstairs, but now there's a really cute dog up there, so we're like, we'll go and see the dog, and there's no animosity from anybody. There's no anyone that's like being like talking about the Sai is the most horrendous bit of red in the world. We know this. In fact, I told him last week. I told him the other day that New Zealand's back open, so he should get himself back out there.
Yeah, 100%.
But like, no one is really talking about this game. Like, everyone's saying to us, "Oh, what's the situation? Can he survive? What's going on?" And it's not about the game tonight. And it's so weird that it's like we're not coming into this game. And listen, we've watched Merseyside derby when Everton have been in the bottom three and Liverpool have been top of the league, and we've seen these derbies when we are at the other end of the spectrum, which we are tonight. But tonight just feels so weird because it just doesn't feel like, certainly from our perspective, we are worrying about them as such, and from their perspective we're just like a hurdle to get over tonight, and they're probably hoping to get out the game without any injuries. They're all probably so confident of getting 3 points that they're thinking, let's just get out the game without any injuries or anything silly happening. So very strange build up to this game.
Therefore, before I answer that, Ned has said turn the game filter on an OBS so it's not distorted.
I'll distort you.
He's all full of it now, isn't he? He's all full of it when he's not here. Yeah, it is. It's a dead weird one. Trying to get yourself up for it. a lot of times we will try to call it in, won't we? We'll try to cry it in and go, oh, don't think we've got a chance. And you always have that thing of going, of course we have, when I get in Goodison. And you know what? At 8:15 tonight, I'll feel exactly the same. When I'm sat there and we're about to kick off, I'll feel like we've got an opportunity to beat them. The difference where I think we've beat them in the past, when they've been brilliant and we've been struggling, is I've always felt our mentality, like our even though we haven't got as talented players as theirs, our mentality was like fight and battle and scrap. Where I feel like with this team, with Klopp and that, their mentality is a lot better. That being said, West Ham beat them the other. I know West Ham are better, playing better, and they've got the players, and everything's better at the moment at West Ham, but they still beat them and things like that. So it's gonna be difficult. We know that, but all we can do, and Evertonians will tonight, is just get behind the team and back the team and just see what happens. If Liverpool, like I've said it loads of times, they both play to the best of their ability, they'll beat us because they're better than us. But who knows what'll happen?
Who knows?
For those players from Sunday, they've got to go and put a shift in, haven't they?
Yeah, obviously it's going to be a very similar team to Sunday, which is like the most excruciating thing, is like we can't even change our players. But it's a weird one tonight though, because it feels like you can double up on a derby, can't you? It's not, if you win, not by any means saying we will win, but if you do win, it's more than it generates a feel good factor. It generates a bounce. It'll generate time. It'll generate something with the manager. It generates just something you can grab hold of, and that's something we haven't had, and we desperately need. But the problem is now football is it's not a game of, you always hear that thing of when people say, oh, the form book goes out the window. It doesn't anymore, because the rules don't really allow it to go out the window. You can't put a reducer in. You can't go through somebody. We've seen that last season. Yeah. Okay, maybe not with Pickford, but certainly with Richarlison. That's that you just can't. Those things are just not tolerated anymore. And they're the things that sometimes do equal derbies out when one team is massively better than the other. And that's sort of where tonight I think I'd definitely start with 3 in midfield, because otherwise we're just going to get a chasing. Like, what's the point in having another creative player if it's Alex Iwobi and he's basically just standing around with his hands on the hips? But you know what I mean? But you say don't, but the manager's picked them in games, and I know probably wouldn't be him tonight because Gray's back and Anthony Gordon's there, but what's the point in having an extra attacker when you haven't got the ball? We're going to have to win the ball back tonight, and we're going to have to get it into the corners, and we're going to have to capitalise on the pace of Gray and Richarlison to break them down. But that's going to be, it's going to be a 76% tonight, isn't it, percentage-wise?
Yeah.
It's going to be up there. So when we have the ball, we've got to be ultra careful with it, and that doesn't mean having someone in midfield who'll float round. It means bang it into the corners, essentially.
If they've got a weakness, it's in behind their fullbacks, isn't it?
Because they play so high.
That's how you can get at Liverpool, because they're high. But it's you couldn't sit here, I don't think anyway. And I am an optimistic Evertonian at times. I can't really sit here and go, I think we can beat. Do you know what I mean? If we do, it'll be everything's gone our way, and the players have overperformed almost, or actually just performed to a level that you expect Premier League footballers to perform to. They're a great side, we know that. It's up to us to just make sure we have a right good go and get the crowd behind us.
Yeah, because it's ultimately.
I think if Everton put a performance in, the crowd will appreciate it regardless. But I think if they're walking around and they get a pace, it could get horrible.
If players are not, like we've been saying, if players cheat, if players don't run that first 5 yards to close people down, then players are going to get told tonight, because that's ultimately, if you can't go around kicking people, then you've got to be sensible and you've got to run round. Everton will have to outrun Liverpool tonight, and that's a scary prospect. But you said it the other day. That's essentially what West Ham did. They outran Liverpool. They made it really tough for them, and then when they broke with purpose, and they broke with numbers, and they did well off set pieces tonight as well, and that's what we've got to be good at tonight. We've got to be basically perfect tonight because it's just because of our team, of who our team is. But that's where we've got to and that's where we've got to get through like the first 20 minutes, because don't forget last year's game at Goodison, we were one down after 2 minutes, and arguably they should have had a penalty after 5 minutes. They were bright. They targeted Seamus Coleman because of James Rodriguez, and we have to be at it the first 15-20 minutes. We have to win and take the crowd with you. The crowd at the beginning will be loud and it will be noisy and good, and they'll get behind the team. But if the players don't show it after 5-10 minutes, the fans will just... It's horrible to say, and people will... And listen, I know there'll be loads of Reds watching this, but their mentality is you stay with the team. That's not our mentality. Our mentality as a fan base is we're with you, but if you drop off at any point and stop doing what you have to do, then we will tell you. Not we are going against you or we are having a go here. We will tell you need to pick it up again. And that sometimes gets confused about our fan base. Seeing about Sunday, seeing Reds going, look at these so-and-so's having a go at their own players. No, we're not... when you've had to watch the crap we've had to watch, players need to be told, especially when it's continuous, especially when it's game after game after game. We are not a fan base that will stand for it. Our fans would rather walk away than, do what, or maybe. But that's it. Start the game like you need.
Right history, though, Ped.
Yeah.
They're all to... Klopp made a big point to them.
Yeah, he did.
The West Brom one, and we were all laughing. He made a point then, because they were walking out, they were throwing the arm, they weren't staying, they were bored, moaning. We're all in this city. There's a lot of similarities. If Liverpool were getting tonked every week, they would let them know. It'd be the same. It's great to point the finger and laugh at other fans when things aren't going the way it is for you. When everything's rosy in your garden, you can point and you can be, high horse FC, which is what they like to be at times, and you can do this, that, and the other. Everything's going in the right direction for them, and has been since Klopp coming, and they're all united, and that's great. And there is, I imagine there will be like a certain type of jealousy from Evertonians that they've got a manager they like, they've got players they like, they've won stuff, they're going in. Of course there will be, but you can't tell us how to feel after a defeat. I'm having watched some of the atrocious performances that we've seen, and not only that, seeing what's going on at our football club, seeing, it's seemingly like no one's really that arsed, from the owner to the board to the director of football to the manager to the players. When everything at your club is in flux like it feels, people are gonna get wound up and frustrated, and if you're good at most years, then you can go, shouldn't be doing that, you need to be behind the ball. When you're having year on year where it
is hard, it's hard to someone continually taking a cheese grater to your nether regions, you're gonna get carbon, aren't you? And that's what it feels like. That's what it feels like. Not that I've ever experienced that. I've never experienced that, but I've watched Channel 4 enough to know.
Yeah. What's your outside?
I mean, it's seeped into Hollyoaks now.
Ginello says can't stop noticing it since Baz pointed it out. Iwobi always has.
Oh, he loves it.
He loves it. Yeah.
He should get. They should.
Maybe London was like.
They should get him like little. Oh, that's funny. On the I was watching the Azori documentary on Netflix, and the training in I think they're training in the Hive, which is at Barnet, and they're just laughing their heads off how cold it is in the summer, and they're like, "How did they cope?" I mean, they're speaking Italian, but they're like, "How did he cope with this? Like, this is summer." They're just taking them in. But I honestly feel like Iwobi at times needs those mittens with the string, so you don't lose them. Just, rather than the sleeves. The sleeves look unperfect. No, it's
threaded through both things. Yeah.
No, it's just a lot of people are just really don't want this game to happen. It's like but it's not about. What's funny is, sorry, I was gonna say this, but you were talking then. We've both seen. I think a lot of people have seen. If you haven't seen, Benitez done an interview with Amazon Prime, and they've stuck the video. We've put it on our socials, on Twitter. He's very cocky. I mean, what are you doing with your mic there? He's very bullish, isn't he? He's very bullish about his position at the club. He's very bullish about his role and what is going on at the club. I find that quite interesting. You're talking about like no one at the club is sticking the neck out, but he seems to be the only one who is, which is quite interesting considering what people think of his position. I think that's quite interesting, and also because we haven't heard. We haven't heard from anyone at the football club, including the players. There's been no rallying calls. There's been no players coming out after the games. It's been really interesting the last few weeks, just how front and centre Rafa Benitez is becoming in terms of the comms of the club, and he really is. I mean, I'll give him one thing. He really is putting it all on his shoulders. He really is, saying I'm the fella in charge and no one else is. I'll speak for everyone here. So he's gone
a massive set of kahunas, hasn't he?
Yeah,
really. He's whatever else you say about him, he does stick his head up. He sticks his head out and he sticks his chest out and he goes, well, all right, put it on me then. Keep it off the players, put it on me. But the players need to, if that's the case, then the players need to go and show him something, don't they? If they are all behind them like they say they are, then they're going to have to go and start performing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting, isn't it? Because if Everton get a hammering tonight, and it's not beyond the realms of possibility, is it? Liverpool have beat Watford 5-0 away, beat Man United 5-0 away. They're a huge threat. If Everton were to get a hammering tonight, do you think that affects his position in any way? Or do you think after watching that video today, he's just like, he's almost being told no matter what happens, he's the manager?
No, I think a lot of that is about him talking about, like, this is what I've been told I'm in charge. I've been told I'm staying. I've been told I'll be here for the long run. I've been told this. I've been told that. And that to me sounds like that if anything happens, he can turn around and say, well, they broke all their promises. I was told I was going to have time. I was told I was going to do this. I was going to do that. I was going to get money. And I think that all that is basically probably all he's doing is probably saying what he got told in the summer, and maybe what he gets told, I don't know, when bad things happen, he'd probably come out and go, no, these told me I've got time. So if he did get sacked, he can come out and say, that job was not how it was described on the tin. I can walk away with my head held high because promises were broken. Promises were broken to me. So I think that's a big part of it.
Yeah, definitely. Connor says going to be a fun one tonight. Brandon says didn't think we'd be getting a live at 5 today. I'm guessing it's straight from here to Goodison.
I'm going straight away because I've got to. I'm on BBC Northwest at 6:45, so I've got to get straight to Goodison.
Right off at 6. Lynn says, "Is it over yet?" Brad is stuck in rush hour traffic heading out to Manchester City Centre. Come on, you Blues. Jay said the opposition preview gave me false hope. Finn says gutted and missing the game tonight due to work being a red and not letting me off. But at least my granddad gets to go to his first derby since '94. I'll also be getting Rondon on the back of my shirt if he somehow scores the winner. Alan Hayes has got a friend who works for the Samaritans and hopes he won't need his help tonight. Gareth is on County Road now and he's 6 pints in.
Fair point.
Gareth, you're in tomorrow. You are in the studio tomorrow, so...
See, I couldn't watch the derby after... I couldn't drink before the derby. Not a chance. Not a chance could I do that.
In some respects, if you have enough, then... Sure, does it take the edge off it? Does it take your mind away from it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but you know, because I
know. I don't really like watching any games of football after having a drink because I know people probably say they need a drink to watch football or watch Everton, but I just can't really. I can't concentrate. I can't. You need to go to the toilet every 5 minutes. Can't concentrate. And yeah, just ruins it. And then you literally, this is the problem. You're sobering up watching Everton. Imagine sobering up and watching Everton. Could you imagine if two worst things to do at the same time? Yeah. Don't forget the kickoff is quarter past 8. The kickoff is. Don't forget it's 8:15 tonight. Don't be,
Imagine getting that like hangover headache as well in the game
while you're watching Everton.
While you're sobering up. No.
Horrendous.
Feel for Joe Fairfield, who is about to start a night shift with a load of Reds, and I'm the only Scouser. Shock. Fair enough. It's going to be a long night, mate. But look at it this way. If the maddest thing happened, and miracles do sometimes happen, and if they do, you can get your Christmas jumper.
You can get your Christmas jumper,
yeah. If it did happen, you'd have a good night, wouldn't you? If you were the only blue with all that. What I'd say, Joe, is it's probably going to be...
My mate Iggy, can't go tonight because he's just flew back from Texas, and they've changed all the rules, haven't they? They've changed all... Yeah, they've changed the rules about... Sorry, we just gone frozen there on
frozen, yeah.
Have we just froze? Why have we my computer, everything just went dark on my room. Yeah, I think we're back now.
Not yet.
Are we back? I don't know. Yeah, we're back now. My mate Iggy, so he's flying back from Texas, and he, because of all the rule changes, he has to do all that self-isolating and the PCR test and all that. So he can't go, but he didn't go in 2004, the Carsley Derby. So maybe.
So we're looking for anything here,
aren't we? Well, I'm just thinking he can't go, and maybe that might be the sign.
Never know. I mean, I think they did have Neil Mellor starting up front that day, which is a bit of a drop off from Mo Salah, but
we had actually, I was going to say Marcus Spencer would probably be good for us now. Marcus Bent now would probably be good for us.
Joe Radar says it's my 94-year-old grandma's first season as an Evertonian, her first derby. Hopefully the boys don't embarrass us today.
Why are you inflicting?
That's all we want to see.
Why are you inflicting that on your nan at this age?
I know.
Why would you do that?
If you were going to do anything, you'd watch City, where it's just rhythmic and slow, wouldn't you? And just you don't ever give the ball away. Don't want us. Peter Duggan says the only red I'm all right with seeing tonight is the red pause menu screen on Red Dead Redemption, but sadly got to attend the game. Yeah. Oh. I'm not looking forward to it. Let's just leave it at that. I wish we were playing like Norwich at home or something. Even though that'd be a tough game for us at the moment.
It will be, yeah. Horrible last night, praying for a Norwich equaliser. Oh.
It's mad, isn't it? Steve Kelly messaged me and was like, Newcastle are winning 1-0 and all that. And he went, what do you reckon? And I said, it'll be 1-1, mate, Pookie 82. And he messaged me and went, Pookie's just equalised. And I was like, what time? He went 79. I was like, that wasn't too far away.
Not bad.
But then I was thinking, I wonder who will get the winner.
Yeah.
And the 1-1. And I seen Leeds, nil.
I know.
I thought, that's all right. Then I seen 89 minutes and thought, bet you Leeds, because Leeds have got about 4 94th minute penalties this season. And yeah, lo and behold.
But there you go.
Can't worry about yourself, haven't you?
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
You know, Kevin X says, hi guys, this is going to be one of the toughest 90 minutes ever. I have just one concern now. Do you think there might be crowd trouble tonight? Just a bit worried. No, I don't. No, I never like to say there'd be crowd trouble. I think there's the potential for it to be directed at the director's box, people's frustration and anger. I think. But you don't know, do you? I don't want to go, oh, yeah, there could be, because I don't think there would be, but you just never know, do you? You
No.
hope there isn't, because at the end of the day, it's a game of football when
Sa-
all's said and done.
Sadly, I think we're more likely to just see a lot of apathy tonight, which is the worst thing. You might see a bit of anger at full time if things go wrong.
People are still in there.
But you're going to just see a lot of apathy, and that's the worst thing you can have at a football club. I mean, I've seen a few things on Twitter and stuff saying, there's still tickets available. People have, I've used the ticket service, and you're just like, what? I can't argue with anyone who doesn't want to go to the game tonight. It's a Wednesday night. It's horrible outside. It's cold. People are just losing interest with everything going on, and you're just thinking, is that where we are now? Is that where we are now as a football club, that people don't want to even go to Merseyside derbies because they just don't feel like we've got any chance whatsoever?
Well, it is where we are, isn't it? And we've brought it on ourselves. We should be going into this game ready to compete, given what we've spent and the money we've had available. We should be going into this to win this game tonight, regardless of how good they are, because our squad should have been good enough to be able to put a team out that's capable of beating teams in the Premier League. We've got injuries, we know that, but let's be honest, the squad should be able to cope with the money we've had. And the club have brought it on themselves. Terrible decision making from the owner right the way down, director of football, right the way to the manager and onwards. And it's been like that time and time again. Something's got to change. But and all said and done, that none of that matters at 8:15 tonight, does it? Because you can't do nothing. All you can do, it's down to the players then, and the manager to get a game plan and to have a right good go at them. And if it isn't good enough, it isn't good enough.
Don't want to see
give everything. I
just don't want to see people bottling themselves. I don't want to see people standing off 5 yards when they've got the ball. I don't want to see people, just when we get the ball, just hurriedly kicking it out and stuff like that. I want to see us, really do something. I think we might have thrown. My laptop keeps on going down for some reason. I bet it needs an update. Apologies if we've gone down there with it. I think my laptop might need an update. It keeps on doing that thing where it freezes, like it's telling you it needs an update. Like, sort me out, lad. Get us an update, will you? No, I just want to see. To be honest, I just want to see players having a go tonight. I just want to see them, because that's all you can ask for. All you can ask for is players having a go, and putting it in. And if quality takes over, obviously they're gonna win the game. If it's all about quality, but without effort, it's you're never gonna get it, are you? So, apologies if you keep on losing. If the camera keeps on freezing, my laptop just keeps on going off. I think it needs an update.
Yeah.
Hang on with that.
No, you're right. We just gotta go and have a go. There's nothing else we can do, is there? Do you know what I mean? There's nothing else we can do. It's just, at the end of the day, this game has come at the wrong time. I mean, it's always a difficult game anyway, but it's come at the wrong time. Because even though we're getting players back, they're still not in the right, fully fit. We need them. It is what it is, but it's here, isn't it? We just gotta have a go. And sometimes, like you said before, sometimes you get a result in the derby and it can just kickstart you. It can just pick everyone's mood up, and then you'd start looking ahead then to like Arsenal going, we just got a result against Liverpool, and they're going to be in the safer win in the league. We can beat Arsenal. You start thinking totally differently. Whereas if Everton get a pasting tonight, excuse me, then that Arsenal game, you're looking at, you're dreading then, aren't you? You're going, oh my God, another home game, and what's the atmosphere going to be like? What's this going to be like? What is Benitez still going to be? The narrative's totally different then. And but yeah, unless if you're being ultra neutral about it, you can't see any way Everton can win this game tonight. But it's a game of footy. It's 11v11.
Yeah,
go and give everything you've got.
It's a game of football.
And see
it's
what
a game
happens.
of football. It's 11. Well, hopefully it's 11 people versus 11. I mean, help if they went down to 10. Might make it easier, or fairer. No, it's a game of footy, isn't it? Ultimately.
What did you make of Klopp's comments about? Don't know what type of game they're gonna play, and it's too physical.
When I first thought
we don't know why.
When I first thought about it, I was thinking, you cheeky get. I was thinking, you run round more than we do. And then I thought back to last season's game and thought you lost your best player for a year because of our goalie, and you lost Thiago for about 4 months because of Richarlison. So then it starts to make sense to me then. Like no, like when you think of.
But then we did lose our best player.
No, I know, but no, when you think about it, the whole
time he put.
I think what he was trying to do is he was trying to subtly remind people of the Pickford challenge, but I don't think anyone in the media actually picked up on it. Because he doesn't want to reignite the Pickford thing, but I think he was just subtly telling everybody that, remember last season, because Thiago was out for a while, wasn't he? And you are right about what he did to James, but Thiago was out for a while, and obviously Van Dijk was out for a whole year and hasn't really fully recovered as yet. So,
see, what annoyed me about that Richarlison one was there was just no need to do it either.
No.
There was literally no reason to throw that tackle in. It was 2-2, wasn't it?
It was 2-2 at the time, yeah.
The game was like swinging back and swinging back and forth. We were having a go. He's more important to us on the pitch, and he goes and puts a stupid tackle in like that.
Well, it nearly lost us the game.
It's like,
we got battered from that point onwards, and they scored the goal, which was disallowed, and we were very lucky. Very, very lucky. Yeah. Don't forget, if it was the rules this season, I think we would that would be a goal. So, Richarlison just Richarlison steaming in and I'll never understand why anyone thinks there's any need to steam in on anyone on the halfway line. The game isn't affected on the halfway line. The game is affected, in the box, which you shouldn't steam in the box either. But there was absolutely no need to do that. So and it nearly cost us the game. So and then him being suspended, we obviously lost the next couple of games because he was suspended. So because he, as part of the team. So people need to keep their heads tonight, don't they? That's the other thing I think that needs to happen tonight. People need to keep their heads. People can't be steaming around going, it's a Merseyside derby. I've got to show these. You know what I mean? So the people have got to keep their heads tonight. Play the game, not the occasion.
You just got to go out and win your battle, but you can do it by pressing and getting close to people. And rather, you don't have to fly in with, because you're no good getting sent off, are you?
No.
So, we've just got to forget about everything and just go out and see what we can do. And I can't even offer any real game plan other than try to get in behind their fullbacks, because obviously they play high and therefore there's gaps, and we have been decent on the counter attack at times with Graham, with the core, and obviously Richarlison back there, and that's what we've got to hope that we can get Townsend, Gray, the core, and Richarlison running at them on the counter, because otherwise, if we just try to see, the real issue Benitez has got tonight, and Everton have got as a whole, is sitting on the edge of our box, hoping that we can keep them out. Do you know what I mean? And in some ways, you've got to almost sit on the edge of your box against Liverpool, because they're so quick that if you push up a bit higher, the likes of Salah and Mane are in behind you every time. So you've almost got to play a low block against them.
Yeah, because all they do is, if you move your full-backs up, they'll just do what they did to us 2 years ago at Anfield, where they just played long diagonal balls. The Mane and Salah just come from in to out. It'll probably be Jota playing up front, but normally the other fella normally has loads of joy. You go out to in, and you get in between the full-back and the centre-backs, and that's always attack. See, this Liverpool are really, really clever. They've got intricate ways of playing, but they're also really good on the long ball. They can just fire it. They've got Trent Alexander and Andy Robinson can just play diagonals over, and you've got the outer in run from your wide men who are allowed to come in because of the fullbacks. So it does stop your fullbacks going up, and then it isolates then your wide players have to stay wide, and then it isolates you forward if you're playing one up front, and that makes it very easy against someone like Virgil van Dijk. So Liverpool as a team are so well drilled and constructed, and because then the three in the middle just fight for everything, and they don't have to be. The mad thing about Liverpool's three in the midfielders don't have to be good footballers, but that the fact that they are good footballers just makes it even harder. So they're a very, very good side, and they work hard, and it's as I said, Everton first thing tonight have to be up for it, to work hard and not, stay in the game as well. Do you know, if we go one down, stay in the game.
Yeah, just keep it. Don't do that thing where we let 3 goals in 5 minutes or something. Just keep your heads, because if Everton were to nick a point tonight, it'd be a great result. So stay in the game, battle and scrap, and make sure the crowd stay with you, because you start losing your heads and going all over the place, leaving gaps everywhere, and Liverpool just pick you off. That's when the crowd will turn, and it could be an uncomfortable night for people. So it's up to you. Stay in, work hard, see what happens. The
crowd will also turn tonight if Everton continue to do the same things wrong. That's the other thing. Goodison hates. Goodison hates repetition. If someone is continually doing something wrong and the players or the manager don't see it, that's, my God, that's like a red rag to a bull, that, for Goodison. So if they are getting in one way, you've got the managers or the players have to change it and turn it round.
Absolutely. Stay Hardy says working until 10 tonight, which is probably a blessing in disguise. Should be able to watch the first 15 of the second half. The rest of the time I'll be relying on radio, dreading it. Dick L says the wife said I could watch the football tonight, but I've told her no thanks. I'm not saying we're going to lose, but I can't face it right now. All this talk of new variants and possible lockdowns has got me down in the dump.
There isn't going to be a lockdown. There's not going to be a lockdown. There's not. It would be, for him, the fat dozer, it would be job suicide. There is not going to be another lockdown. Telling you right now, just
said who have said the variant isn't even as
just
bad
wear
anyway,
you,
so it won't be a lockdown.
Wear your masks. Help not to spread it, and we honestly, it'll be fine.
There won't be a lockdown. Yeah,
there will not be a lockdown.
No, there won't be. No, there won't be. Chris says, in the words of Aragon, there is always hope. There's not much hope, but we still have to believe. So
yeah, but
AJ says
he had 4 L's though. He had 4 L's, and he had he had a wizard. We haven't got 4 L's.
Got Rondon and Rafa.
We haven't got 4 L's and a wizard though.
AJ says, when we get home after the game, might have to go on Red Dead and slowly ride around the map on my horse.
Yeah, just
Dick
like
L says, this does seem. Come on.
I was just gonna say, like, if I just wish Red Dead was like real virtual reality, because that's exactly what I would do. I would slip the head thing on, put the gloves on, and just get on the horse and just go, hey boy, and just go into the wilderness.
Get out into the.
Just go and visit that. Go and visit the widow at the top, and just stay over there for the night and follow the trains and just go look for a wolf or something. Or go fishing. And, I would love it. I would love it if you could just escape fishing, into. Yeah. I'd love it. I mean, everything but the TB. I would love.
No, you don't like the TB, but that's not good. Dick L says this does feel very similar to the end of the Marco Silva reign. A heavy defeat and Big Dunk could be taken over before a must-win home fixture against another top club. Chris says we'll probably get battered 3 or 4-0, but maybe we could shit out a cheeky 1-0 win. Kev Rex says, I want the players given 100%, but the worry is sendings off and missing more players for easier games.
That's actually very true. Keep your head.
No, it's a great point. Yeah, don't get sent off. Sol says, the lack of hope I have for tonight has calmed my nerves down a bit. The only thing that might work in our favour is how we are massive underdogs. The pressure is all on Liverpool.
It is all on Liverpool, and they actually, listening to their fans, they are a little bit, they know that. They are a little bit, they are aware of that.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? It is mad. They are a bit edgy because, I think they're a bit edgy because it is that. It's almost like, we'll use a saying, you're terrible.
Yeah.
and you haven't won for weeks, and it's Benitez. Imagine if you beat us, or that kind of thing. Like, I mean, I don't feel that, but that's
No.
what they feel. They feel like,
Mm.
oh my God, it could, this could happen, and it'd be the most embarrassing thing we've done forever or whatever. But normally, I would say, Liverpool do have a good mentality in terms of they work hard.
Yeah.
They're always on it. But
Yeah.
we've seen teams beat teams before. Like when it was when they won the league and they were flying, and they went to Watford, who was struggling, and Watford beat them 3-0.
Yeah.
Just a mad game where Liverpool, it just didn't quite happen for them, and Watford took I know Sarr was brilliant that day, just took the chances that they got. So it is, it does happen, but it is few and far between. But we'll have to just wait and see, won't we?
Yeah.
We've got to remember that Liverpool's record of Goodison isn't great over the last 10 years. No, ours isn't either. But what I mean by that, it's just that there's a lot of draws, isn't it? The games are generally draws at Goodison, so just have to see what happens. But like you said, like we've said lots of times, sitting here just looking at it, without having your Everton hat on, you can't see how that team that was on the pitch on Sunday at Brentford could beat the Liverpool side that you're seeing at the moment.
Yeah.
It just seems just ridiculous to even think about it. But who knows, eh? Who knows?
Yeah.
Teams of, if you're not at it and we are, then who knows? We've got players like the core who can make a difference. Richarlison can make a difference. Damari Gray's bright, isn't he? Andros Townsend's whacked one in from 30 yards against Burnley. He's got that in his locker. You just never ever know. You never know. The other thing as well is we've only scored one goal since October, which is a bit terrifying. And it's December. Have you noticed though, regardless of who our manager is, November's always crap for Everton.
Yeah.
It's always a bad month.
It's when the injuries start mounting up and suspensions start mounting up.
When the ball gets changed, they can't play.
No.
When the winter ball comes out,
that's it. They're allergic
it takes them a while.
Allergic to yellow footies.
They have to try and find the antidote to yellow footies. It's normally discover it in December. But in November, they're all over the gaff with it. Yeah. But look at it this way. It's now only 2.5 hours till kickoff.
Am I supposed to feel better?
Don't you find though? Right. Don't you find though? You've been sat around today, like waiting for the game. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas you just want to get it over with. It's always like I always find with the derby.
It's the build up, innit?
The last 10 minutes before the kickoff is just horrible. And then the game kicks off and you sort of go, oh yeah, this is it. And like, you know what I mean? You have a shot or something and you start going, well, they're not actually like, the world's greatest team ever for years. They're a good football side and we'll see what happens. And it's like, it's never, even though when you lose, it's horrific. The build-up is more intense and worse than what the actual reality of it is.
Yeah.
They're sitting around waiting for it. I'd always want them at 12:30, so it was done. So you get out of bed, done and dusted, and it's out the way, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the way you've got to look at it. This time tomorrow, it'll all be over for a few months. That's the best way to look at it.
This time tomorrow, you'll be thinking, wonder what's happening on Get Me Out of Here tonight in the castle.
Oh, yeah. I mean, naughty boy had it again last night. Just gets a cob on, doesn't he?
He does.
He's just a bit odd, and now he's going to have to do with the trial.
It's
his own fault.
It's his own fault. It is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what do you think the manager will do with the side tonight? What do you think the team will be?
I think he'll probably bring Delph in, and that's probably why he didn't play him on Sunday. And he'll play him in a 3 because I just can't think of any other way of doing it tonight. We've got to be like tenacious in there. We've got to have someone taking the ball off the back 4 as well. Someone who has played in the occasional big game, and then he'll have Gray, he'll have Townsend, he'll have Richarlison, and he'll probably just tell people to just bang it into the corners, or just try and get between the lines. I don't know how we're going to try and do that, but try and get in between the centre backs, the defensive line and the midfield, and just try and get round the back of their full backs as well. I think is probably the way to do it. But you've got to win your battles, and you've got to win that midfield battle. And if we don't go 3 against 3 against them, you might as well just say, don't play the game, lads, and it's a 5-0 win.
Yeah, I can't see any way if we play that we can play 2 in midfield.
No,
I just can't.
Not against these.
They're so strong in the middle of the park, so competitive. And Paul was saying when Paul from the Redmen was saying they've had like Fabinho, and they've had Thiago sitting deeper, and they've had Henderson pushing right on and breaking, and then you've got the other 3. I just don't see how we can go with 2 and then someone like a Wobie in the 10. It just doesn't make any sense, that to me. So no. I would have Alan, Delph, and Decore, and be saying to Decore, your job is to break into the box if we ever get the chance.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. But the ball carrier,
because that might be a way.
You've got to break the lines, haven't you? You've got to break the lines, haven't you?
Exactly.
You've got to break the lines, and then you've got to. If he can break the lines, and then Richarlison get on the wrong side of the centre backs, that's one of the only ways you'll get behind them. Because things like set pieces and things like that, they're great on set pieces. It's like we I don't know. I'm sure he's got a plan. He's had lots of plans this season.
Of course, yes. Andy Giorgio says it's 5 a.m. here in Australia. Game doesn't start till 7 a.m. and I can't sleep. Up the Blues. It's right, Andy. Nice one for joining in, mate. Joining us. Sharon, no, I didn't say we've got Henderson. I said they've got Henderson breaking through. We've got Decore. So, I don't know what's happened to you there, but there you go. Meg versus Jake says, yeah, lads, been a while, missed you so much, my phone broke, but I have a new one now. Everton 1-0, but considering we haven't scored since October, we ain't playing badly.
Hang on, your phone broke? Your phone broke?
Hey, let's watch it on his phone.
All right, there's no other way of watching it.
There you go. Stephen Slick says, imagine a Wobie scored a hat-trick.
Oh, wouldn't that just be the greatest?
Imagine a Wobie scored 1 goal, like a good goal. Like,
imagine a Wobie made one pass. Imagine a Wobie made one pass to an Everton shirt. Parties be going off.
I mean, Patrick's gone dark.
Okay.
This could be the last derby night at Goodison. Let's make it one to remember.
To
be fair,
that's quite dark.
No, but to be fair, I suppose he could be right, because it could be thingy, couldn't it? It could be the next 2 seasons could be early kick-off sort of thing, couldn't he? Or a Saturday or a Sunday, do you know what I mean? So he might be absolutely right.
No, you might be right.
Might be like the last actual night game at Goodison.
The last night game
derby at Goodison. Last night derby. So that's a good point, that, mate. I hadn't even thought about that. I'd not even thought about that. Ryan says, where is Mina? No update. You know what? The Mina thing's really weird, because he was training the other week. It showed him back in training. Was it the week of the Brentford game? It was, wasn't it? And then nothing. He didn't make Brentford.
Yeah.
Sunday, and everyone's like, oh, he's got a chance for Liverpool, and he's not made Liverpool. And you just think,
according to Instagram, he looked like he was in Spain at the weekend. He was pushing a pram in, and it looked like Spain.
I know, but you don't know. He did post a picture a while ago on Instagram, and it looked like he was abroad, but it was from the summer.
No, I'm just saying that's what that.
No, he could well have been. Listen,
you get a break. Go and see your own doctor, because ours can't sort it.
Yeah, exactly. Meg versus Jake, are you going the game, lads? Yes, we are, mate. It's finishing at 6 and off we go. James Hughes says best night derby at Goodison, Gosling or the Big Joe derby in 94.
94.
Gosling was brilliant, but the 94 one, which was mad because it was like a similar to today, wasn't it? Yeah. We were bottom of the league. Liverpool were flying. I think Liverpool was second and could have gone top that night. And we beat them 2-0. No one gave us a chance. Joe Royal's first game. And we beat them 2-0. And we went on a great run after that. So there's a lot of similarities with that.
Yeah.
With this team tonight. But like I said before, I think Liverpool's mentality is a lot better than what that side was. But what can you do? Swanky 2006 says, get some Jaeger bombs down, you boys. Need a bit more than that, I think, to... you know what? I'm actually, at this moment, I'm quite calm.
Oh, I'm quite calm.
And I don't know whether it's like an inevitability, that feeling of like, it's what's the point, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Jay
5
says,
minutes before kickoff, I'll be horrible, and then when the game starts, I should calm down a little bit.
You'll be all right then, yeah. Jay Munsey says, see you at a full time, Baz. We can cry together. If we win, I might kiss you. I might kiss you back if we win, Jay. Me and Jay always have a little conflab.
Just be careful. COVID regulations.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, of course.
So, you can have a little fist bump.
Carl says, oh, thank God you're through pumping. Carl says, strangely nervous and excited this evening. Whatever happens, win or lose, it feels like it might become a defining moment in the season and for the club.
Maybe,
yeah. Carl, you are a wild fish. Strangely nervous and excited. Wow.
As always, you are an excited pigeon.
He is, isn't he? He's loving it. Dick L says the fans at work were genuinely worried today that we will injure one of their precious players.
Oh.
When did we get this reputation for being bruisers? Probably last year's derby, Dick, I'd say. Just hazarding a guess. Ryan E says if he plays a Iwobi, it's confirmed he's Agent Rafa. A lot of people will lose their minds if Iwobi plays tonight. I can't see him playing, but who knows? Kev says if the game is close, I'm hoping for a round 2 from Klopp and Dunk. However, it really feels like Dunk has had his wings clipped a bit this season. Yeah, seems to be just taking the back seat a bit, doesn't he? Gareth says, having a beer with Duncan McKenzie right now, and the man could tell you some stories about the hierarchy at our club that are unreal.
I'm jumping over minis.
We'll post more on Friday, and I've asked Dunk's permission to do so. Gareth, won't you just tell us tomorrow in the studio?
Yeah, you can tell us off. You can tell us off camera.
But he'll probably want to post more as well. I don't know. Astro says I'm literally gonna walk into the door at home just in time for kickoff. More nervous than a long-tailed cat in a warehouse full of occupied rocket chairs. I mean,
that sounds like
that's nerves. That's what nerves will do for you, Astro. Tom Walsh says, imagine Dobbin starts and scores a hat-trick. And James Hughes has gone with Obi-Wan Iwobi. I mean, fair play. Meg versus Jake says, if we're 3-0 up in the 80th minute, would Everton fans sing Rafa's name?
Maybe ironically.
That's a mad one, isn't it?
Maybe ironically.
A mad one. I mean, I couldn't see it, but it would be a mad one. Where are we? Martin Cummings says, if we go down, at least go down swinging. Absolutely.
Why not?
Blake says, Astro, absolute legend. Everton fan KJB says, just hope we don't play long ball and offensive, hitting it up to the Richarlison thinking he's dumb. Yeah, it's not this. We tried that on Sunday, didn't we? At times. Sorry, not Sunday. Against Spurs. Like knocking them balls as if it was dumb. You know, and against Man City was the same. It's like he's good in the air, Richarlison, but like attacking things, not like flicking headers on and trying. That's not his game. We saw his game at Anfield when James slipped that little ball through to him, and he was off the shoulder and scores. They're the kind of passes you need to give. Yeah, you know. Last 5 minutes.
Last 2 minutes because. I've got none of my but I'll just say
no,
now.
You've got to get off.
No, but all my screens have gone off. I'm literally flying in the blind, so when we go off, I'm literally gonna have to turn my laptop off to end the stream because everything's gone off on me. I honestly have no idea I was still on here.
Oh, okay.
Everything's gone off on me.
Okay, Everton, come on, you Blues, says Townsend has a screamer lined up for tonight. CC EFC 85 says we getting the Sean promised fulfilled tonight.
Maybe.
Who knows?
Maybe.
Sharon says Richie is decent in the air, but when Dom's up top, there's always Richie support him. Yeah, John O says we need to slip Richie in through on goal.
Yeah,
absolutely we do. Tazrul says Rafa doesn't help himself with his team selections and lack of substitutions. He didn't help himself on Sunday, did he? Shocking. Not. I know that. Listen, he might look at Dobbin and Sims and think they're not good enough. We know that, but with 15 minutes left, he had nothing to lose to throw them two on at the weekend, try and get a goal. And it doesn't, it doesn't matter if he knows that. You've got to try everything. You've got to let the fans know that you're trying everything as well. Alan Cale, what a name, says fearing the worst tonight. Reckon Rafa has had it if he gets stuffed. How can he come back from that?
No idea.
I don't know. I've no idea. I've no idea what's going on now, but let's see what happens. Kevin McKenna says, top show, boys, keep it up. Cheers, Kev. Thanos says, just be brave. Peter Collins says, no Townsend, there will be at number 10. Really? Reece Colburn says, wrap up, lads, it's freezing. Oh, we will. Yeah, it is cold. It is cold. We will. Yeah.
Right.
There you go, yeah.
Right, we're done.
Tom Walsh, final one.
Go on.
Tom Walsh says, think Gordon will get his first goal. And Sharon says, hopefully see you at the game, Blues.
Okay.
Fair play, Sharon. Right, we're done. Come on, you Blues.
Enjoy.
Subscribe if you haven't. Thank you very much for watching. Yeah. Thumbs up helps us. Thank you.
Let's see if this is gonna go. Let's see if this is gonna work. Me turning off is gonna end the stream. So I'm gonna wave so I know on my phone when it's time to turn me off. So bye. Bye.
Okay. See you later.
Just sitting here waiting to turn it off.
I know.
It's all dark. I can't see you.
I mean, it's you still look